This week on the Steel Report.
The good Lord sent me the mission when I was looking deeply into my soul as to what I could do different.
New partnerships will soon help area veterans at the Americans for Independent Living new headquarters. Plus,
as a high schooler, I could see the connection between the decrease in monarch populations and its impact on the environment and food security.
A Cedar Falls High School students' Monarch Club will help the city of Cedar Falls celebrate Earth Week. And our program begins right now.
Now from KWWL, this is the Steel Report.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Steel Report. We're going to talk today about a great partnership to help Iowa veterans right here in the Cedar Valley. I think you're going to enjoy hearing about this because it's really going to be fantastic for our local veterans. Let's meet our guest right now. First of all, he's been on our program before. This is Tim Combs, and Tim is the Executive Director of AFIO, the Americans for Independent Living. They have a brand new building that's going to be opening up here in a few weeks. And by the way, congratulations again, Tim, because you were one of the heroes among us this year for Mercy One. So congratulations on that. That was really a great breakfast award ceremony. Glad to be there. Also, welcome back to the program, my longtime friend. This is Chris Jones. And Chris, of course, was a member, he's a veteran, and he was a member of Delta Battery going back to the first Desert Storm, which began as actually Desert Shield. Chris, when you guys went over to Iraq after getting the training down at Camp Lejeune, then it moved over to Desert Storm. And since that time, Chris has really been doing a great job trying to help our local veterans as best he can. And he has a group called Coffee and Camaraderie. And we're going to talk about that on this program as well, because you're going to be going to a new place for those great events for our veterans. And also welcome to the program for the first time, though I think you've been on the noon program before. This is Emily Meyer. Emily is a veteran herself as well, and she works for Pathways. And Pathways is part of this new partnership because Emily is a veteran peer support specialist who also, as a veteran, has done a great job in helping our local veterans. And we'll be talking more about what Emily does with Pathways here in just a moment. So all of you, welcome to the program. We really appreciate what you're doing. Chris, let's begin with you. Coffee and Camaraderie, that's your kind of local nonprofit here locally, but you've got a new partnership going with these guys. Why don't you tell everybody what's happening?
So what we got going on now is Coffee and Camaraderie, and we're in Cedar Falls right now, but we're eventually going to be moving to AFIO University. But first of all, I'd like to thank Tim for his partnership with us, for letting us use the facility to house our events in, because it'll be home base for us to have it there, and we don't have to relocate, and we can just set up camp there and feel like we're at home. And then we've also been working with Emily Meyer. Emily Meyer is a part of the board at Coffee and Camaraderie, and we've been working with different projects throughout the years with the Pathways and the Coffee and Camaraderie and veterans.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic because, Tim, we've talked about your new building, which is under renovation. Here's some older video from late last year. We went out there and did a story when you had your work day, and Lowe's was out there and helping you remodel and everything, looking at this. And this is in the 4000 block of University Avenue, which is actually the old Slumberland furniture store. So why don't you give us an update on what's going on with the renovation? I know you've had a soft opening already. You're not open for business quite yet. Why don't you tell everybody what's going on for later, actually this spring yet?
Yes. We're getting close. Yeah, we had the soft opening here a few weeks ago. Right now we're still wrapping up the final detailing on the construction process, the remodeling. Painting and things like that are going on, and flooring and stuff. So we're looking for that to be wrapping up at the end of April. We're a few weeks behind schedule, but we're looking at that at the end of April. Hopefully be moving the second week of May, and then getting everything set up to have the doors open by the end of May. So,
Tim, let me go to your webpage real quickly here, because it says your mission is working to empower veterans in need by providing home modifications, household items and furniture, transitional housing, enabling them to become independent within their homes and communities. And as you say, the mission is achievable with your help. You started this how many years ago, and how did it come to be about? I know you've talked about this. It's kind of a remarkable story. Yeah. What made the decision for you to start this AFIO?
This decision was by an upper power. So I put it, the good Lord sent me the mission when I was looking deeply into my soul as to what I could do different. no matter what it was, whether through working with my hands or through something else, but I needed something for the future to finish my life out on this earth. And this was sent to me to help veterans. Kind of specifically came down to that. And so I started it in 2015 by putting everything together, and 2016 was our kickoff for that year. And right off the bat, in January we got a home donated to us for veteran housing. So that was through an individual in the community. As long as it's maintained for a veteran place, they were willing to donate it to us. And we set that up that direction. So from that phase, it's just been one thing after another. Furniture started the second phase of it, where we help give furniture to every homeless vet that gets housed and every low-income veteran. So we moved on with that, and then doing the home mod work for veterans that keep them in their home as long as possible, help the young ones that return with disabilities, help them maintain the independence they need with their families and living in their own home, as opposed to trying to have to move and figure out a whole new life altogether. So this is what we do, and this is what we're about. And working with Chris and Emily with that part of it, adding that to our realm of items that we have within this new building is going to be an awesome thing for the community.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Emily, you're a veteran yourself. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and now your work with Pathways and how you are helping veterans?
Yeah, so I was in the National Guard for about 4 years. I got hurt pre-deployment and had to get out, so I kind of struggled with my transition and my mental health with all of that. And so I got to a place in my recovery now that I can connect other veterans with resources, connect them with each other, and use my lived experience as a veteran and with my mental health to kind of help other veterans get on the right track and things like that.
The veteran angle, though, is that something new or that you've picked up for Pathways? Because this is obviously going to be a very, very valuable asset.
Yeah, so I've worked for Pathways for about 1.5 years now. And with the grant that we received from the state, I've been allowed to help veterans go out into their homes, work with them in the community, help them get connected with community resources, and things like that, and just kind of get them to a place where they want to get up out of bed in the morning and they want to go out and connect with other veterans and connect with the community and things like that. So that has also led to our partnership with the Cedar Valley Sportsplex. So we have a group that meets there from 9 to 11 on Thursday mornings. We always have coffee and donuts, and then the Sportsplex has allowed the veterans to utilize the track and the turf areas to exercise while they're there as well. It's just kind of grouping in that holistic wellness aspect to the veterans' lives.
Yeah, in fact, I use the Cedar Valley Sportsplex frequently myself, and I do see a lot of veterans over there during the course of the week, but particularly on Thursdays. Chris, when you look ahead, how this partnership is going to work with Americans for Independent Living, because this organization that Tim has created is going to make a big difference, and then you have the VA office right almost behind the new facility out there. So how do you envision moving forward and helping veterans even more?
Well, the location is ideal. I mean, because having a home base adds a degree of consistency, and we need that home base to make all the veterans feel like this is one place and one-stop shopping. So you can go to the clinic and get whatever help and assistance you need, but more importantly, we can help follow up with you and see where you're at in your care. So we can monitor you and make sure that you're not slipping, so we can get you the help that you need if you need it. If we can send you to Emily, or we can send you to wherever you need to go. But we want to make sure that we're working with you, just to make sure that you're following those programs and those instructions, because working with Tim is also important because he has the passion and his vision for that building to be right there at that location is ideal.
So Tim, the building is like much larger than where you are over on 4th Street right now. You have to be so excited about this, and what do you think what's going to be the most valuable thing that you can offer our veterans, and how do you get the word out to let them know about this new building opening up?
Well, getting the word out is a major undertaking, I guess, the way we're looking at it anymore these days. That's marketing is tough standpoint I think for nonprofits, but we need anybody and everybody that knows about us and what it is to tell a friend and tell everybody that they know. But this facility, like Chris was saying, is hoping will come up to be like a one-stop shop. you can come in here, you can work with us, we can get you furniture, some light food, we can get clothing, we can do all kinds of different things like that for a veteran that wants to come in, whether they're homeless or they're low income, elderly, veterans still living at home, or even if you're in a living facility somewhere and there's things you need. We've delivered goods to a veteran that moved into a living facility that had nothing to go with them. So we delivered goods for that. We've done that. So the whole thing is about in the community room that we have that we'll be opening up on a daily basis when we get the doors open will be a 8 to 5 type facility that veterans can come in and hang out all day long. Drink coffee, play pool, watch TV. Hopefully down the road here we can get some women or some men that love to cook, want to come in and do some meals through a day, maybe teach classes on how to cook proper meals, things like that. We can just keep moving with that on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, and yearly. And down the road here we're looking at hopefully a shop that we can put in so veterans can come in and utilize some skills or learn some skills, pick up some skills. But the main thing is that they get out of home, they get out of being locked in a house or trailer or whatever they're living in or wherever they're staying at, and they can come out and be with other veterans and work with them, learn, talk,
Really
just enjoy life.
Endless possibilities,
Endless
for the
possibilities.
future. Emily, working with veterans through Pathways, obviously this is a confidential service, so keep that in mind. Everything that we tell Emily or the people at Pathways is always confidential. But just generally, what are some of the big issues that veterans face that you see?
Access to care is a large one. I mean, at Pathways, we serve the majority of Northeast Iowa, so some of our veterans have to travel an hour to the nearest VA clinic. So that's a big one. Connecting and understanding what benefits that they're entitled to is another big one. As we know, kind of transition programs getting out of the military are flawed, and so Chris and I and others have helped some veterans, Vietnam-era veterans, who didn't know that they were entitled to certain things that they're entitled to. And then that also applies to our more recent veterans getting out. I think also, helping veterans get into treatment has been a big thing as well. Substance use is kind of a thing with our veteran community. So just kind of letting them know that it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay, and I've been there and I've gotten through it, and now look where I am. And I can kind of be a beacon of hope for a lot of other veterans. So yeah.
In addition to that, Emily, you have a women's veterans group too, right?
Yeah, so myself, a few of the women veterans that work at John Deere, Chiquita Lovelace, Heidi Warrington, and a few others have met. We started meeting at Perkins in Waterloo. On April 25th will be our next meeting, but the last Thursday of the month at 4:30. So any women veterans that want to get involved and help connect with other women veterans in the community, we'd love to have you. Women veterans face different struggles, and especially getting out of service, that some of our male counterparts don't encounter. So just to kind of give these women veterans in our community a place to go, feel seen, and then also be able to give back to our community as well.
Tim, you wanted to kind of piggyback on that.
I did with that, Emily, that I'm hoping that I did speak with Chiquita about it a little bit, but hopefully that will be your gals group is more than welcome to utilize our facility for those meetings on a regular basis too. So.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. Yeah. Because like you say, the one-stop shop for all veterans will be at the new Americans for Independent Living facility out on University Avenue when it opens here in a few weeks. So we're going to move on to another part of the Steel Report coming up right after this break. And welcome back to this week's edition of the Steel Report. As you can see, I have 3 new guests on the program this week. We are here to talk about what's going to be happening this week in Cedar Falls, because did you know it's Earth Week? Let's meet our guests right now. This is Nadia Patel, and Nadia is a junior at Cedar Falls High School, and she is the president and founder of a very unique student organization called the Monarch Club, and we'll let Nadia talk about that here in just a few minutes. Also welcome Brett Morris, and Brett is the park supervisor for the city of Cedar Falls. He's going to talk about some of the great events happening this week. And welcome back to the program. This, of course, is Amanda Huesman, and she works also for the city of Cedar Falls as the communications specialist. And one time, many years ago, Amanda, remember you were actually a student of mine at the University of Northern Iowa when I was teaching up there. So welcome back. So everybody, welcome to the program. Really appreciate you taking the time. Amanda, why don't you start this by talking about Earth Week in Cedar Falls, and really it started as a cleanup effort or something like that. Why don't you expand on that?
Yeah, well, it started about 4 years ago as a Cedar Falls citywide cleanup event, which is a bit of a mouthful. We really expanded it. It kind of experienced a glow up, and we call it Cedar Falls Earth Week now. And part of that was not only incorporating the great cleanup activities that we've been doing, where we invite local organizations, businesses, individuals, neighbors to get out and pick up litter in the community, but we also wanted to highlight the partnerships that we've had with our local organizations and all of the conservation efforts that we've been doing around the city.
How many parks are there in Cedar Falls that you oversee?
Actually, 39.
39 parks.
Yep.
I would have never guessed that many. That's amazing,
Yeah.
really.
Yep.
And how are you involved then in Earth Week?
With park staff, like last year we handed out seedling trees. We had them available at City Hall that any citizen could come in and pick up a tree to plant in their yard. This year we're actually giving out butterfly milkweed plugs. So there'll be 150 available at City Hall for any citizen to come down to City Hall and pick one up. And when they're gone, but there's 150 that we're giving out. And then with Nadia in the Monarch Club, we're gonna plant 100 other Monarch plugs around town and at city parks and some of our planting beds, public buildings, just to try to get pollinators out in the city.
So let's move on to Nadia, because you're a junior at Cedar Falls High School.
Yes,
So tell me a little bit about the idea. Obviously, you're very much concerned about our environment and improving the environment in the city of Cedar Falls. So where did this idea come for your Monarch Club? Tell us all about that.
Yes, I'd love to share the inspiration. So getting the Monarch Club started and this project started was a journey in itself. It began with a vision and a creative solution. As a high schooler, I could see the connection between the decrease in monarch populations and its impact on the environment and food security. Living in Iowa, there was also this issue of pig waste and its environmental impact. Pig waste can leach into our water bodies, causing eutrophication and posing a threat to aquatic ecosystems. I saw an opportunity to tackle this problem too, and actually presented an overall solution to these issues at the Iowa All-State Speech Festival last year. It began with the pilot project at the Northeast Iowa Food Bank, where we planted milkweed using recycled pig manure to create these pollinator pots. There were 12,000 pounds of produce harvested last year, which was a remarkable increase for the food bank. In essence, starting this project in this club was my way of addressing multiple challenges simultaneously. Additionally, by using recycled pig manure to help grow these plants, we reduced the environmental impact of this waste. The interconnectedness of these issues and their potential solutions inspired me to take action. It was a project born out of a genuine desire to make a positive impact on the monarchs, our environment, and our community.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, have you done this with a committee, kind of other students at Cedar Falls High School, or have you done this by yourself? Yeah.
For sure. So as for the number of students in our club, it's not just limited to our student organization. It's important to note that our doors are open to anyone who shares the same passion for environmental conservation and sustainability. So right now, we're also going to be partnering with local schools, such as Orchard Hill Elementary, Aldrich Elementary, and Hudson. And they will be helping us with our pollinator plots, and also we'll be teaching them about environmental stewardship as well.
Amanda, you were telling me actually when Amanda contacted me about Earth Week, and you were just raving about how smart Nadia is and what she's done, and
Yep.
you must be very proud of what she's doing for the city.
It's absolutely amazing to see such incredible young local leaders in our community. I mean, Cedar Falls is really so much founded on volunteerism. I mean, the fact that we have such an active, engaged community is what makes it possible to do these great events, to have these great services. So when you see young student leaders like Nadia, it's very inspiring, and it says amazing things about our future.
Mm-hmm. In fact, we do have some video I'd like to show you right now. These are some of the locations, Brett, that you've been working on. So why don't you talk a little bit about what is going on in some of those locations?
Yeah, so we've planted several pollinator areas around Cedar Falls, whether it's in parks or along bike trails. And a couple of those are a biocell at Clay Street Park. The Hearst Center, there's a really nice butterfly garden out back there. Also added some to our Central Park location, which we did a pollinator there, planted that 3 years ago, but then we've added some milkweed with the Monarch Club last year. And then also along the trail, kind of by 2nd and State Street, we put a few butterfly milkweed plants there as well. And then we also have, obviously, other prairie areas around Cedar Falls, whether it's Prairie Lakes, Big Woods, out at Pheasant Ridge Golf Course, there's several pollinators. So this is just a nice addition to some of the pollinators that we already had.
This must be truly a passion for you.
Yes, definitely. So each of these sites presented their own unique opportunities for monarch habitats. Whether it was a public park, like Brett said, an artistic space, or a riverside area, our goal remained consistent, and that was to provide monarchs with a nurturing environment to support their populations and contribute to a healthier ecosystem.
We can feel your passion here on the set. We really appreciate that. Can the public get involved in this, Amanda? The citizens of Cedar Falls, how can they be of help this week?
Well, with Earth Week, you know, it's the 21st to the 27th of April, and anyone can head out and pick up litter around the neighborhoods, around heavily traveled roads, trails. You can pick up free 30-gallon blue collection bags at city facilities, including City Hall and the Public Works Center. You can grab a friend, grab a coworker, get out there and pick up trash in the city. There will be pickup points located throughout Earth Week at our local parks. You can also contact Public Works to arrange a special pickup. So anybody can get out there and collect trash. Now, as far as doing these amazing projects, it's important to remember that Nadia came to the parks team and they did this together. Anyone that has these ideas can do that to make a better future for our communities. So as Brett had said, we will be giving out milkweed plants throughout Earth Week at City Hall, and we're really looking forward to growing these pollinator gardens. Nadia and our parks team have just been absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see them grow.
Nadia, I don't get the feeling that you were intimidated by going to speak to these people at all, that this is something right up your alley. You've been involved in speech competition, obviously, before. So what was it like going to try to talk these folks into becoming partners with you?
Definitely. I think it's important to note that when you have a passion, don't be afraid to actually speak your mind. So for instance, I talked about how I was so concerned about these environmental issues, and I talked at the All-State Iowa Speech Festival. So I think it's important to note that when you have these issues, it's important to talk to somebody who shares the same passion. So getting with like-minded individuals, you can pool your resources and as a result create a larger impact. So when I reached out to the City Parks team, it was really great to see that they had the same passions as I. And as a result, we made such a huge impact over just the last year, and I can't wait to see where this goes.
So Earth Week is going on this week, and also, Brett, you just mentioned we're big lovers of trees, so what's happening with Arbor Day?
Yeah, the 26th is actually Arbor Day this year, or it's always the last Friday in April. So the city of Cedar Falls is actually, has been recognized as Tree City USA for over 40 years, so that's something that we're real proud of. And part of that recognition, we do a Arbor Day planting every year, which we would do anyway, but this year we're actually planting 2 trees in Overman Park. We've taken several ash trees out of that park over the last 7 years, with the emerald ash borer that we've been busy with. So yeah, Arbor Day is a big day for us too. It's just kind of cool that it falls right in with Earth Week this year. That doesn't always happen. It does happen, from year sometimes, but not every year. So.
And Amanda, always we put the city website up here throughout the interview, but what's the best way for people to learn more information? Is it just go to the city website, or? Yeah.
Yep, you can visit cedarfalls.com to learn more about Earth Week. You can also, I encourage everybody to follow us on Facebook at CityCF. So throughout Earth Week, we're going to be broadcasting a lot of our milkweed plantings, our Arbor Day planting, and highlighting some of the organizations that are taking part in the cleanup effort. So definitely follow us on Facebook or visit cedarfalls.com to stay updated.
Well, thank you all for coming in for the interview. And Nadia, great job as a student. I'm looking forward to see what you'll do in the future as you move off to Cedar Falls and go on to college. And as always, Amanda, nice to have you. Brett, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. So it is Earth Week. Cedar Falls, take advantage of that. Be a part of the big cleanup citywide. More on the Steel Report in just a moment. And welcome back as we wrap up another edition of this week's Steel Report. A reminder, all of our recent shows can be found on kwwl.com. Just go to the Steel Report tab at the top of the page. Click on and then you'll see all of our recent shows. That's it for this week. As always, thanks for watching. We'll be back here with a new edition next week.